Do you remember that? It's funny because I believe it was just everyone always says, for a while it was just popular meme talk to make jokes about eating ass, because we were just making fun of shitty black people memes, because apparently they like to stick their tongues to each other's butts. But then it spread to, it was either Now This or BuzzFeed or something.
I remember
this
video.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the whole thing.
There was that video.
It was there was some girl at the beginning of the video, and she was trying to act quirky or something, as if it was as if we were just talking about tea. She's like, lately everyone's just talking about eating ass.
Well, yeah, there was
what?
It was one of those shitty TV shows, had an ass-eating scene, one of those HBO shows, so everyone was talking about that for a while. That's sparked
I don't know.
off.
Wasn't that girl?
The exact video that Ghoul is talking about, though, I specifically remember watching.
Yeah, I remember watching that too.
I remember starting to watch it and then be like, this is fucking retarded.
I remember Hateful Heretic's comment. These are grown people talking about this. These are adults.
Well, yeah, and she had dudes, all kinds of different gay dudes, and I don't know what kind of dudes talking about it, and talking I was just like, this is okay. Yeah,
well, there was actually a brief period there where across the degenerate, all media is degenerate, especially TRS, but you know what I mean. There's that particular wing of media where 90% of what they write about is what you stick in your ass, right?
Yeah.
There was kind of a coordinated campaign there for a little while to make analingus a thing we were supposed to talk about. There were articles with the headlines like, analingus is the new oral sex, and why eating ass is the new transgressive. It's just all out of the blue. It didn't get any traction at all, because getting feces in your mouth is fucking disgusting. But
I'm surprised it didn't get any traction, because anytime they go on one of these campaigns, it usually works.
Well, look, they put it on that show, Girls. That was the show.
That's what it was.
Of course, it was that show. Right?
This is where I do actually think the frog, the frog in the boiling pot metaphor breaks down. What I think it is, you get closer and closer to people's breaking point. The Overton window can't shift forever. So I think when you get to the point about talking about literally licking crap, that too many people's disgust reflexes kicks in. That you just can't normalize that.
Yeah.
It was funny because it was being presented in such a normal light that I think that was what in particular disturbed so many people.
Well, yeah, it wasn't
like a Vice thing where they're just new trend underground, butt eating. It was
it's presented as a
it was
thing.
What's up this new fad? Everyone's just fucking eating each other's buttholes now.
It's this fad, and it's right. They present it as this fad, as though normal people's day consists of hanging around the water cooler at the office talking about where what you put in your butthole this week.
Well,
I like my butthole with toilet paper this week. What'd you do? Well, I actually had a girl.
Dude, I'll be honest. I work in New York City.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not like that at all. People are just kind of really weird and uncomfortable no matter what, because nobody speaks the same language.
Autistic urbanites.
Yeah, well, it's just a bunch of Asians and white people that don't know how to communicate comfortably with each other. So it's weird.
The IUINOC. No, the AU.
Atomized individuals suffering from scale.
AUINOC, the Autistic Urbanites in Need of Crushing. That's what we'll call them.
Okay.
I just wrote this acronym down. It's too long. I don't like it.
Yeah. But I do remember that BuzzFeed video. It was sort of kind of a not a very attractive, chubby girl, and she was asking gay dudes about eating ass, and I was just like...
I remember she had the gynecological model of the person with the butt muscles and stuff.
It was really
and she was
embarrassing.
These muscles here, they're all connected, and this one, and it was just Jesus fucking
It was
Christ.
Extremely weird and uncomfortable. Basically.
And I assume that as soon as she pulled that model out, I assume that anybody who actually was feeling sort of turned on by this butt licking talk probably was over right then. It's we wrote out the anatomically correct
so you're talking about
science
yourself.
project. Oh yeah, absolutely. I didn't like it anymore after that.
Well, and I kind of think along those lines, because as humans we have to be wired to have visceral disgust responses, and this is one of those many biological things that the left refuses to address. If disgust is so immoral and unnatural and wrong, why do we feel disgust at all? Why do we have this reflex? Why would we have evolved the ability to feel disgust?
Because conditioning. You see, we didn't actually have any kind of natural disgust. All of it's conditioned somehow.
It's conditioned by the capitalist patriarchy
and and Christianity. See,
and they do that.
Everything was actually fine. Like we actually didn't know that all along the path of least resistance was the best one. We just figured that we should start right away, disliking certain things for no reason.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason at all that a group of people who had a natural aversion to touching and licking shit would survive better than the people who didn't. I mean, because there's obviously no biological reason that licking shit would be bad for you.
Yeah, and the people who transcend these childish disgust reactions and become fetishists, they need to be normalized so that we can.
You mean they become differently abled sexual enthusiasts? Fetishist is an otherizing word.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I find that microaggressing.
It's like intersectionalization or something.
Well, the problem with the word fetishist is that it implies some sort of standard of normalization that is really alienating to people that don't meet that standard. So, if you're saying just this kind of desire is a fetish, what you're saying is there's a normal kind of desire that normal people meet, and that is fundamentally discriminatory.
Right. I mean, the whole concept of normal is a social construct. I mean, sure, you can gather data and measure statistics and calculate norms, but science itself is a social construct, and mathematics is a social construct. So
also, that sounds like poetry to me.
Reminder that formal logic is a patriarchal male European construct.
I was just going to say you're a bigot if you do any of this stuff. I mean, that's all that is.
Right. I mean. Really, the only real path to knowledge about the other and ourselves is to just get high and touch your dick and see what you think about.
I was going to say, just put things in your butt.
Yeah.
It's like eat some fucking mushrooms and put a carrot in your butthole.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the
It doesn't have to be a carrot. We're very open-minded here. We don't want to discriminate against other vegetables.
If you're new, I recommend baby carrots to ease your butthole.
Right. If you're more tolerant and enlightened, I recommend an onion.
See, here's the
I recommend a baseball bat eventually.
Hold on. No. That implies that there's something wrong with just going right in and jamming something in as hard as you can, and that there's something wrong with actually a pain response, because look, pain is in fact a patriarchal construct. It's just there to oppress you from stretching your butthole as wide as you can.
If you think about it really hard, is there truly any reason that we should categorize a fissured anus differently from a regular anus?
No. There's no reason why a prolapsed rectum is any worse than a normal function. Well, here I go normalizing.
See, the patriarchy has infected your language
I've
so badly.
Collaborated in my own oppression.
You've got this idea that if your intestines aren't falling out of your butthole, there's something normal about you. That's just wrong.
Right, exactly. Okay.
We need to have a national discussion. We need to have a national discussion about anuses.
Do we need to can we keep pushing?
Isn't that what this is?
And when I say pushing,
collapsed.
I know, keep pushing.
I'm talking about pushing that onion in my anus.
I'm talking about pushing the prolapsed intestines out of my anus. But anyway, let us
upgrade the basketballs themselves.
Can we now talk about our real views? Because this is getting tiresome. We can do this forever. People have actually told me before that it gets tiresome when you guys go on and on like that. You can keep going.
Well, we can do that.
What's the point of a joke if you don't drive it into the ground and alienate all your listeners?